What up? We got a fun one for you here today. We got 1989 Fleer Cello box. It's a baseball card exchange wrapped, and as you can see, this is just what we're looking for. So we got code 90121. So in case you're not sure, or in case you don't know, code we're looking for, this stands for the year it was made, 89. They also, some of them start with 8. What you're looking for, the next three numbers are 0, 1, 2. That means it was made on the 12th day of 1989. The 1 doesn't mean anything. So we are looking for, generally accepted, the first 17 days to get the Billy Ripken F-face card. And we're on the 12th day, so this should be a good box. We should get Billy Ripken's. Now, the only the one other thing in this box we'll talk about as we go through it is the Randy Johnson, which we will probably not find those Marlboro Era cards in this box, but we should be hitting the F-face cards. So let's get rocking here. Should be a fun rip. Always fun pulling those iconic cards like that. So there are 864 cards in this cello box. 24 packs of 36 cards per pack. Look at those. Beautiful. Which means we should get at least one of each card, and some cards, a lot of cards, we should get two of. So the hope is that we would get two of the Ripkens in this box. There's always also the chance of getting the whiteout, the scribble variation of the Billy Ripken. And also, if you know this set, which a lot of you probably do, 1989 is Ken Griffey Jr.'s rookie year, so there's Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards in here, Randy Johnson rookie cards in here, there's Craig Biggio rookie cards in here. There's a whole slew of rookie cards. 1989 was a pretty iconic year for cards. Also a bunch of other random error cards. They can be worth something, or, you know, you can get a PSA 10 in them, they're worth a little bit, but really what we're chasing after here is the Bill Ripken. We got Gary Sheffield rookie in here. So we're gonna, this will take, there's a lot of packs here, a lot of cards. We're gonna try to run through this pretty quickly. We're going to pull out some Hall of Famers that we think we can, not, Kirk Gibson isn't as big of a deal. But we'll pull out some error cards. I'll show you along the way. Ryan Sandberg, rest in peace. We'll pull him out. Passed away recently, unfortunately. Anyone we can think that we can lot up and maybe sell on eBay. Alright, first pack, kind of a bust. And with the cello packs, you can always kind of check, see if there's anyone fun on the outside. If you can find a Bill Ripken Air, or even Ken Griffey Jr. on the outside of the pack, that's definitely, those go for quite a bit of money. Especially if you can get them graded. So these are, you've never opened these before. There's no glass on these. They're very low glass, so they don't really, it's funny, they don't stick like 90s glassy cards do later, like 92, 93 glossy cards, but they kind of have this like static sticking. These are actually not too good. It's not too bad. They don't ruin the cards. They have never ruined the cards. Just sometimes kind of hard to flip through. pretty bad packs to start with. Here we go. Bruce Sutter on the back. Roberto Alomar on the front. 2 Hall of Famers. But not worth not opening. See if we can find the Billy Ripken here. So if you're familiar with this set, the Billy Ripken was an heir back in, or they called an heir back in, here's, touch on this briefly. So these are the All-Stars. These were insert card. You can see number 11 of 12. These were in these packs and regular wax packs. These are 1 and 3. Really early version of an insert card, though. Not a lot of insert cards yet in '89. Fleer was kind of a little on the front edge of those, although they're not worth that much. The set is not very good. There's not very many huge stars in it, so even in PSA 10s, they're not extremely valuable. And they weren't that rare. They printed, I believe, millions of these. Here's, I think, Goose Gossage. So these are, Kurt Gibson. These are definitely, the distribution of these cards in the pack of the collation isn't great. You'll definitely see repeats, and they're in the same order. We'll take out Fred McGriff, Hall of Famer. Nothing great on the front or back yet. But yeah, so the Billy Ripken came out. In case you don't know the story, the brief version is Billy wrote F-face on the bottom of his bat, so that in his batting practice bat, so he knew which bat. There's John Smoltz rookie. That's a good one. On the bottom of his bat, so he knew which one was his. Take out a couple of Ozzie Smith, Wade Boggs, just in the bucket to take batting practice. And then the Fleer photographer came up and said, "Hey, can you just grab a bat and let's take your picture for the card?" And see what I mean about the bad checklist. We got Mike Scioscia, All-Star. So he grabbed his bat and he forgot about the fact that he wrote F-face on the bottom of it, and took his picture for his baseball card. Bo Jackson on the back. That's a good one, but not quite good enough to save or grade. So took the picture for somehow, and it's arguable whether it was on purpose or not, but somehow it escaped the Fleer folks and it made it onto the card without any editing. So there was an expletive that was a pretty big upset in the industry, made news back then. Definitely articles about it in Beckett. So here, this should be an error. Yeah, see, you can see there. Tom Brookins on the back, Mike Heath on the front. So this is a card not that valuable. In a PSA 10, you might be able to get, I can't even remember, maybe $30. It's not huge. Might be worth a couple dollars. These are more prevalent than the major ones. The later printings, they fix this error. But I always take them out. You could maybe sell them in a lot. It is one of the major errors that people do collect in this set. There's Nolan Ryan. So yeah, back to Wade Boggs. Back to the Billy Ripken story. So So a bunch of negative press. They were freaking out on how to fix this after the first few weeks of the product being released in late 1988, early 89. Yep, here I believe. So there's the Jose Canseco 4040. We'll take that out. I believe that in Tom Hare. I believe we have the Billy Ripken coming up. There it is. There it is. Boom. We got one. Good thing we opened that and didn't keep it with Bo Jackson. So that's looking pretty good. Fresh out of the pack. As you can see, the F face there on the bat. This is looking really nice. Top to bottom and left to right. That is very centered. Corners look pretty sharp. Very, very nice. Fresh out of the pack. It's always fun pulling these. If you've never done it, I would suggest picking up one of these boxes. All right. Well, that will definitely send to PSA. And we'll send all of these Billy Ripkens to PSA if we get more than one. Excellent. So yeah, I didn't mention earlier, just the Tom Hare, and I always remember Tom Hare or Tom Herr. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but he's a twin. I'm a Twins fan from here in Minneapolis, so he's the kind of the, you know, it's coming. I remember him, and then the 4040 Club. That always comes after that. So great, we got one. So hopefully we'll get another one. Chances are we'll get about 1.3 per box or 1.4. So if we get 2 in one box, that'd be pretty awesome. There's Ryan Sandberg on the back. Again, rest in peace, though. But we want to still open it and see. So yeah, anyway, back to the story. And now that we've seen one, yeah, that card came with that expletive on it, and so Fleer freaked out, and they did all these different things to try to fix it on the I was gonna say assembly line, but on the just the printing press, I guess. So they had all these different variations. On some of the sheets they just used a whiteout, like literally a whiteout, but then printed out just a white blotch over the expletive. And some of them they did a black scribble, like they just literally scribbled it with a pen. There's a whole bunch of them that they call them a saw cut. They literally use like some sort of saw, and that could saw directly into the sheets of cards, like a whole thick, a whole stack of sheets, and would saw into them. And those are pretty valuable. And then there's they finally ended with a black box. So the final printing runs were the black box. And those are the least valuable. That was kind of, considered the corrected version of it. I'll take out markers. So yeah. The F-face ones are obviously very desirable. The rarest ones are the whiteout. Those are quite valuable. So as far as what they're worth, if you can get PSA 10, you're looking at a couple thousand for the whiteouts. Oh yeah, there's Craig Biggio rookie card. That's a good one. Hall of Famer rookie card. You always like to see those. Having trouble with the sleeve here. So yeah, and the scribbles are probably a little bit more valuable than the F-Face original ones, but those are pretty hard to find. I've never pulled any of those from a pack. So I'm kind of giving away the secrets here, which is why I'm here. So so generally, if so the packs have that, or excuse me, the cases, unopened cases are the only place that you can find those codes on it, in case you're wondering. And so if you either buy them from someone you trust, or buy a whole case, or you gotta buy the BBCE authenticated ones, where they write down the case numbers. And yeah, through the January 12th, hey Bobby Bunny, $1 Million Man. Through that, so you saw the code, I explained it at the beginning. So through that January 12th, around through the 17th, you should be getting the air cards. No one's quite 100% sure on when the scribbles and the whiteouts come in. Probably around that date, but they're very rare. Like I said, I've never seen one pulled. I've never pulled one myself, and I've opened quite a few of these. So, so yeah. But these boxes, you can definitely be. I definitely wouldn't pick one up. They can go for $50 or. Even lower than that, between 40 and 60, just generally that aren't authenticated as being an air box. So for that price, it's probably fine. Some people try to get $150 or $200 for a regular hobby box. When they'll sell you on eBay, they'll say Billy Ripken Air ? But those are really rare. If it's not, definitely don't go down that route unless you know that it's an air box as far as paying $150, $200. So I got a really good deal on these from my local card shop. They get them in every now and again, and I don't know where they get them from, but I've bought a bunch from them over the years, and Alexander. I paid $200 for each of these for the Cello, which is I consider a pretty good deal. So as far as value for the air cards for the Billy Ripkens, PSA 9s will generally go for about $200. I've sold them. They've even gone up since I sold them. I've sold a bunch of them for between $150, $160. And it looks like I haven't sold one in over a year, so it looks like they've gone up since then. Looks like pretty readily around $200, maybe a little less. Some go for a little more. So yeah, when you consider that you should get at least one, which we got one already, and you could easily find two in one of these boxes based on the numbers, $200 is a pretty good deal. These are pretty. I think the Cello boxes that are wrapped with the air dates are pretty rare. There's only one of them on eBay actually, and it went for like $389. So I think this is a pretty darn good deal. But instead of flipping it, I wanted to share it with you guys. There's not a lot of the air boxes being opened on YouTube. So I thought it'd be fun. And yeah, so I actually picked up 2 boxes, so we'll be opening the other one soon. Alright, there is the other big card of the set, Randy Johnson rookie card. So that's a good card. So as you can see, let's leave it up here. As you can see here, right here, there's a big black box over that sign. So, which by the way, this one's a little off center, left or right, unfortunately. Up and down looks good. Corners look good. That wouldn't get a 10 either way. But the Randy Johnson is the other big card in this set. And they also have error cards, but not this late in the printing process. There's this originally was a big Marlboro sign. And they went through a bunch of rigmarole, kind of like the F-face, to try to cover it up. They had a lot of negative feedback. There's Kirby. A lot of negative feedback and bad publicity from releasing the card with the big Marlboro advertisement in the back. So they did. They tried to cut different colors and different sheets from it, or different printing plates, and they had red and scribbles and different blackouts. It was pretty bad. But those error cards, they're actually not nearly as, surprisingly, they're pretty rare, but they're not nearly as valuable as the F-face cards. I think the F-face cards, really nostalgic. They are for me. I was just getting into cards and when I was opening these as a kid. I never had an F-face as a kid, and I always kind of wanted one. I always wondered if I'd have to hide it from my parents. But yeah, definitely comment if you remember this. There's an Edgar, I believe Edgar Martinez rookie card. Yeah, we'll pull that out. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. But yeah, let me know in the comments. How's he on the front? What you remember about this card? I know this was a big deal in Beckett when it was coming out every month in the 80s, or 1989, 1990. A lot of people talked about it. I remember it being worth in the, definitely double digits for raw. So yeah, I never got to everything. So, so the F-face card, it's worth around $200 in a PSA 9, so definitely worth it to get graded and try out for a 10. I've never gotten a 10, but the 10s go for about $800. And then the 8s don't, if you get an 8, it doesn't go for that much less, honestly, than a 9. I mean, it'll go for less, maybe $100, but you're going to get a lot of money back, even if you get a 9. So in a box like this, if you can pay $200, like I did, it's a pretty good deal, because you get between 1 and 2 of them. Also, you get the Griffey. Even the Randy Johnson, I mean, it's not worth a lot, but the Biggio, Randy Johnson are worth a few dollars. If they're in great condition, it might be worth it to send them in. They're close. To get a 10. They really have to be good condition, to send them in, but haven't pulled a Griffey yet, which is, hopefully we get another Griffey. Another Kirby. I always like to see him. Looks in good shape. The Kirby card in this set always had it's really dark on this edge. It always is. I don't know why. That one looks really good, though. If you don't know, my biggest... I'm from North Dakota. I live in Minnesota. Big Minnesota Twins fan, even though they sold half their team a few days ago. But I collect Kirby PSA 10, so that's kind of my biggest thing on my PC. So it's always fun if I can get them graded myself instead of buying them. It's more exciting. All right, let's see it. Well, we haven't seen a Griffey, like I said. I think we're going to see a Griffey. I think the McGuire is the indicator for a Griffey. You got McGuire, Ricky Henderson, Kirby, Eric Davis, Maybe I'm wrong. Shoot. I don't think I missed it, did I? No, I thought that was indicator, but maybe we just missed it. Sometimes those stickers in the middle mix up your indicators. That's alright. But we should still pull one, hopefully. Let's make sure I didn't miss it here. No, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't, like I said, I haven't opened one of these in quite a while. Buckner. Jeff Treadway. There's an error in the Treadway. Can't remember what it is, though. Oh well, it's nothing huge. Greg Maddox. Year off rookie card. I think his rookie card was 88. All right, 6 packs left. Alright, let's go. We gotta get a Griffey. Gotta get one Griffey out of here. And if we're doubling up, let's double up on our Ripken here, right? Come on. Be nice. Steve Lambertozzi. Number of the 87 Minnesota Twins. World Series champion team. Paul Muller from Minnesota. Hall of Famer, also played for the Twins briefly. Bobby Witt, his son plays for Kansas City, one of the MVP candidate. If it weren't for Aaron Judge, he'd probably have at least one MVP by now. There's the Sheffield rookie card. Haven't seen that yet. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty centered. A little off center, actually. I don't know. It might be pretty good. I'll have to look at it closer. It's a little off center. I can't remember what those are worth anyway. Getting them graded. I mean, if you get a 10, it's decent, but it's a tough 10, especially these days with PSA. So with the centering in this set is not. It's the biggest challenge. The corners are usually pretty good in these packs if you get the boxes in good shape, but the centering is the challenge. And PSA used to allow 60-40 for the front until just recently, late last year, I believe, or early this year, they changed it to 55-45 for the front, which is, especially in these vintage cards, well, even in new cards, honestly. Wow. We don't want to. Corners here. So yeah, it's tough to get a 10. Tougher than it ever has been, unfortunately. But there's another Smoltz. Not bad. So yeah, what I do with these, honestly, I toss a lot of these in the trash. Just have to do it. But I try to lot up Some of the Hall of Famers, like these guys I'm putting there, and Craig Biggio rookie card again. Let's leave that up because there are fans of these guys. Even though they're in junk wax era, there are fans of Biggio, fans of Randy Johnson, obviously, even if it's not the heir, that want their rookie cards. And, they only have a few rookie cards. They can't control the fact that their rookies were during the junk wax era, so there's demand for them, but they're not that valuable. So you gotta lot them up. Maybe do 10 of them. You open a few boxes, or even 5 of them. You can get a few dollars for them if they're worth $1 a piece. It makes it worth doing. All right, let's go. No Griffey yet, which is shocking. And yeah, we always want to double up on the good ones. We've seen a lot of doubles. Definitely haven't seen any doubles. Well, 2 Biggios, which is good. It's not nothing, but out of the quote good ones, he's probably a little bit lesser. So you got 2 Bobby Witts. There's another Randy Johnson. That one is off center. See, left or right, definitely off center, just like the other one, unfortunately. But again, you can lot these up, and they're worth $1 or $2, a couple bucks a piece. All right, 2 packs left. Let's go. Cecil Fielder, great player back then. Roger Clemens is not a Hall of Famer, but definitely a roid guy. But he's got a following. One of the best pitchers of all time, statistic-wise. I don't think we're going to get anything more in here. Oh, there's another Tom Brookins. Or no, this isn't. So before we had Mike Heath, and we had Tom Brookins on the back, and here we got Tom Brookins, and I bet you, yep, Mike Heath on the back. So that's a flipped error. Those have a little bit of value, not a lot, meaning like $1 or $2, but it's worth putting. Maybe not even $2, but you can sell them. All right, last pack. Let's go. Let's get a Griffey. Holy cats! Or another Ripken would be nice. Dave Winfield, also Minnesota alum. Ripken, the other Ripken, Cal. Don Mattingly. All right, well, interesting video. We got 2 of a bunch of them, 2 Biggios, 2 Randy Johnsons. We did get a Ripken F-face. There it is, infamous card, and it looks really nice. We will definitely send this in. I will update you on how this comes back, how the grade comes back. It looks really, really good, even top to bottom. This looks really nice. I'm pretty happy with this. But no Griffey. That's shocking. Anyway, there's the first box. We have 2 boxes, so please be sure to follow us. Or follow me. We'll open another box here soon, and let's see if we can find a Griffey. In 2 boxes, you should get. In 2 boxes, you should get at least. Or you should get 3 Ripkens, or 3 of each card approximately. That's the way the odds go. So maybe we'll get 2 in the next box. Please be sure to follow and like. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Goodbye.